Boy, we have got to talk about what Canon just dropped with the EOS R5 and R6. Let's just get straight into it, man. So yeah, Ben from Lover of Tech. This is going to be as much off-head as possible, and I'm probably going to be reading off the phone because this was hot off the press. Like, I thought we were going to watch the live stream, but everyone dropped the embargo, so I've just been trying to take in the information, and it's a lot. So let me not ramble on too much. As you've seen, we're going to talk about the R5 and the R6, what they offer, the differences, what my thoughts and concerns are, and what overall I think Canon have done here that I think will set the pace, even though these cameras are not perfect. All right, look, apologies. Usually I've got a script, I've got it all off head, but so much information. I'm more going to be focusing from the video perspective, right? Not the photography, because I'm mainly doing video, you know, on the channel and outside as well. So we'll go through the video stuff more and just the overall specs, right? We'll run through the differences. Okay, so Canon R5 versus R6. Okay, so Canon R5, if we go through the specs and the differences, the R5 has a 45 megapixel full frame sensor. The R6 is 20 megapixel full frame, and you've got a 5.7 million dot EVF on the R5 and 3.6 on the R6. And obviously the LCDs are slightly different, but very much the same. 2.1 million dots on the R5, higher quality, 1.6 on the R6. You have joysticks on both, so yes, they've got rid of that control pad thing on the EOS R5. You do have a top LCD panel on the R5 versus just the normal mode dial that you get on the R6, so there's the differences there. You've got a new battery system, which is something I expected as well. So it's the LPE6NH, so very similar form factor to the LPE6, but bigger capacity, which is great. It's going to help negate some of the power draw, because especially the R5, that camera is powerful. Let's be honest, it's powerful. You've got micro HDMI ports on there. We'll discuss that later. That's you do have 30-minute record limit, so it is more behaving like a photography camera. And you know, there isn't any internal unlimited recording options in any of the less taxing recording modes, let's just call it that, right? So that's something that's there. Both of them are using the Digic X or 10 processor, so they're derived off that platform, and they've been scaled down based on, you know, what you need from the R5 and the R6, and we'll go through the specs there. You'll see it on the screen. The R6 only records in an IPB long GOP, again, long group of pictures GOP codec, and the all-eye codec is only in the time-lapse mode. But another thing to be aware of, there is a slight crop on the R6. So we're talking about when you're recording in any of the 4K video modes, there is a very slight crop. It's 1.07x, very minor. I don't think it's a big deal, but it is a shame that there is a crop there when you don't get any crop, even all the way up to 8K DCI on the R5. So that's just something to be aware of, guys, if you're going for the R6 for, you know, recording in 4K. Again, maximum resolution that you get on the R6 is 4K UHD, no DCI, up to 60 frames a second, and you get 422 10-bit internal, which is still great to see. I will throw the full specs of the bit rates of the R5 and R6 on the screen so you guys can see as well. The R5 does shoot, like the R5 in terms of video modes goes in, like it's almost going to be overwhelming to see it. It does shoot a proprietary form of internal raw codec that shoots up to 2600 megabits per second in terms of data rates in 12-bit, right? All-eye codec as well, all intra and IPB in a mix of different resolutions and also frame rates, which we're going to run through as well. In terms of the hardware body of the storage media, slightly different. The R5 does use one CF Express card and one UHS-2 SD card in dual, and obviously you can record max resolution in all the modes in the CF Express card and proxies onto the SD card as well, that much I know. And you've got dual SD cards in UHS-2 for the R6, so that's the difference there, based on the fact that you don't get any internal raw codec or all intra codec in the normal, obviously, shooting modes, rather than just the time-lapse one. New battery system, as mentioned before, and also full frame readout in all the modes in the R5. Yes, you heard it, in all the modes on the R5, right? IBIS, internal in-body image stabilization on the sensor as well. And I'm hearing stuff like potentially based on the lens that you have, you're gonna have up to 8 stops of stabilization. 8 stops. I don't know whether that's fully referring to just photo, but you do get the advanced electronic and digital image stabilization that you've been seeing on the newer cinema cameras like the C500 Mark II, the C300 Mark III. So that combined with most of the RF lenses that have IS, I'm eager to see how that's going to perform, right? Again, I don't have these cameras, but man, I'm just seeing it and it seems like a lot. You've got C-Log on both. Price wise, I'm gonna base it in UK because our UK prices does include taxes and VAT as shown. The R5 is gonna need your kidneys at £4,199 and the R6 is £2,499. Here's my thoughts. There is a lot of information to go through, and again, like I said, I'm going to throw the specs up on the screen so you guys can see all the different resolutions and the bit rates. But honestly, my first impression, I am heavily impressed. Am I going to be getting the R6? No. I am even more happy after seeing all of this and calculating the costs to be happy on the Fuji X mount system with the X-T4 coming in and later on picking up an X-T3 camera body, right? I'll share my concerns of glaring things that really worry me so far. The slight crop, although very minor in the R6, is a shame, right? Why they've gone with micro HDMI ports, only Lord knows. I don't know about the power delivery options on the USB Type-C, but it looks like you cannot power the camera via USB-C while you're recording, which is a shame unless it's off. So that's just another thing to consider. And there's, you know, some accessories there, you know, to consider and whatnot in that sense. No unlimited recording modes internally in any of the less taxing mode. Like I'm talking about, let's just say, if it was limited to a certain bit rate in 4K and full high definition, it's still behaving like a photography camera. So not having that means that when you need to do long form content, you're gonna have to be using external monitor. Now, bearing in mind, when you use an external monitor, you are getting a full color sampling, 422, 10-bit, and you're recording to, you know, better codecs like ProRes that's gonna be more less taxing. You know, internally, it's mixing it through using H.265 when you're recording 10-bit, and all-I codec, all intra, as well as IPV, which is MP4 8-bit. It mixes it up, right? So you've seen it in there. Those are the things that really concern me. The R6, I think the R6 will be good enough for the people that really want it, especially those that have a lot of EF glass. You know, the adapter that has the variable ND is great. It's a no-brainer, go for it. I think the crop is not that bad. And it's great that you're getting the new generation dual pixel autofocus version 2, which work very much the same. Again, in the comment section, let me know if there's any information I've missed. I am impressed, but I'm more relieved that I'm not going to be tempted by what the RF system has to offer, because it's a great mount, but it's a very expensive mount. And this kind of, especially for the R6, leaves room open for what Sony will announce with the A7S III and what they will bring. So I'm very eager and I'm very excited to see how that comes out. Overall, I am impressed, but it's a shame there's little niggles that I wasn't expecting them to do, especially the fact that they had a mini HDMI port. I was expecting them to go all the way up to full size HDMI, at least on the R5, or stick to mini, not go down to micro. If there's anything I've missed, let me know. But this is quick and dirty. The fact that I was even reading off the phone, man, you could tell that I'm excited and I'm pumped. Like the R5 and the R6, these are gonna be some of the hybrid cameras that are really gonna set the pace for this decade, for 2020. Yeah, 100%. Not perfect by initial. A lot of people have pre-production models. We're gonna have to wait to see when people buy them, when people get their samples, when we can actually see footage, how the footage behaves, and how it, you know, just the overall performance. So let me know in the comment section below, man. This is my thoughts of the R5 and the R6, the differences between them, how they stand. I'm excited to see what they will truly have to offer once the content comes out. If you like more videos like this, you know what to do, man. Ben from Lover of Tech. Hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss videos like this. Make sure you're subscribed if you like videos like this. Share, like. I hope you guys are all safe during this time. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.